What is going on, everybody? Today we'll be reacting to an Xbox fanboy video for once. Yeah, I know, right? It's been a while since I did these. So we'll be reacting to pretty much Colt debunking, debunking a Xbox failed video from 2 years ago. I'm not lying to you. From 2 years ago, right? And like just like how the atheist debunked Christianity, bro. Here's here's Colt debunking an Xbox failed video. Oh, what an inspiration in our gaming society. I don't know. Let's get started.
Xbox has been fighting an uphill battle for over 25 years, trying to take over the living room for gaming. But now they have more
Hold on. I put 1.5. Oh, wow.
games than ever, a future for hardware and services, and a viral video just called out Xbox for being a massive failure.
So what happened? How did one of the best consoles with one of the most popular gaming franchises in existence end up failing? We'll explore that in today's episode of the Infographic Show, the real reason Xbox is failing.
I could just feel, Colt Eastwood just fuming, like with the steam, like a cartoon with the steam coming out of his head and everything. I can just feel it. I can just feel it.
This video is full of revisionist history and perceptive opinions and some outright lies about what's really happening with Xbox.
No, it's just outright, how do you say? Outright, I don't know. How do you offend someone while telling the truth, right? I guess it's just telling the truth. That's what it is, Colt. You just don't like the truth. You can't handle the truth. you see, because you like stupid old movies. Yeah.
September 2023, and you head home with your newest console purchase in over 5 years.
Like I said, this video was made 2 years ago. 2 years ago, and he's reacting to it now. Crazy. You couldn't react to a modern Xbox thing? Oh, yeah. That's right, because Xbox is sucking even more now. So anyone that does debunk the Xbox in this current year is somehow even more damning than fucking 2 years ago, somehow. It's crazy. I know I said somehow twice. That's just how insane it is, man. Like, honestly.
New Xbox Series S. You hadn't heard much about it, but you saw it in the store, and, well, it's the latest Xbox. You have to try it out and see how it holds up to the PlayStation 5. As you plug it in, you pause for a moment, trying to remember why you left Xbox in the first place. Whatever, why live in the past? You go online to check out which games to buy, and then you see it. A new Halo. That's the game that made you fall in love with the system all those years ago in the first place. A wave.
Oh yeah, you mean the Halo that failed miserably to both have content and like retain players? Like, seriously, how the hell did you launch a Halo with less content than the previous Halo games? How did you do that? Even 343, like even the 343 Halos launched with a lot more back in the Xbox One and 360 generation. Like, are you kidding me? And then they released this piece of shit over here, which, like, I don't know what to say, man. This Halo sucked. It really did. Halo Infinite. Hey. It's Halo Infinite disappointment. That's what it was.
The nostalgia washes over you as you eagerly buy the game, hoping to relive the magic. You boot up Halo Infinite and start playing, but something feels off. The gameplay is dull, the environments are uninspired, and the quality of the online service sucks.
Hold on for a second. Halo Infinite was an 87. It was critically acclaimed.
Whoa, dude, it was an 87 on Metacritic. Who cares about Metacritic, bro? Is this all you Xbox dudes talk about? Metacritic scores? Really? Are you serious? I never gave a shit about Metacritic scores. What I care about is the game. The price that matches the game is a price appropriate for said game. Even if it's $70, is the game worth $70? Yes or no? Then there you go. Then the game is great. That's all I care about. Price to value. That's all I care about in a video game. You know? And the value, by the way, means quality, content, balancing all those elements within the game. That's the value I'm talking about, I'm not saying like, oh, does a video game give me 100 hours? I don't care about that. If like 60 of those hours are shit, then the game is shit. Like, seriously.
It was well loved, especially in the opening couple of months. The campaign got rave reviews. Fans were really excited to play an open world modernized Halo game.
I was excited about this too. I had no problem with the Halo that's pretty much acting like the Breath of the Wild, to the franchise. I absolutely had no issues with that. The problem is the execution. It was just filled with, think about Think about the Ubisoft games, right? And how they do this shit where, oh, you have a side mission where you have to go collect 7 monkey ball sacks to and give it to this guy. Don't ask why, ever. But, you know, he'll give you a couple of gold for it or whatever. That's like the quest that you could expect from Halo Infinite. That's like the biggest... not only were they fetch quests, though, they're just pointless. They're just like stupid little quests that you just go and do and then move on. You know, which I know you could say that for almost every game, but it wasn't fun doing it. That's the problem, right? That's pretty much what Halo Infinite's open world was. Quote unquote open world elements were. It was just harder to get to what you would play in a normal Halo game, essentially, right? Like, that's really it. So why'd you make it open world if it didn't complement the open world? Say what you want about Breath of the Wild, but Breath of the Wild, you know, it was fun collecting the weapons. You know, it was fun collecting the enemy shields and shit, which I always wanted to do in a Zelda game, you know? So Breath of the Wild scratched a lot of different itches, bro. It really did. I always, and when I was a little kid and playing Ocarina of Time, I always wanted to like, use and collect the enemy's swords and shield, right? I know that the Master Sword is better. I don't give a shit. I want to try the enemy sword. You know? Shit.
Online really blew up the first month. The problem with Halo Infinite a couple of months after launch back in 2021 was a poor or slow roadmap of online content. But this video shows someone accessing Halo Infinite in 2023 when it's got over 2 years of packed online content and improvements, including Horde mode and so much more. I loved Halo Infinite and so did millions and millions of people who played it. To call Halo Infinite a disappointment is pretty ridiculous when it is rated up there with some of the best Halo games over the past 10 years.
Yeah, rated, but how did it do? Huh? How did it do there, Colt? You know, with the game, like, almost pretty much dying within the same friggin' year because the idiots couldn't even make a proper playlist. As in, they didn't have, like, the appropriate modes. Hell, you couldn't even pick your mode in, like, the first couple of months of the game. I don't know if it's different now, but when I first played Halo Infinite online, you couldn't even pick the mode you wanted. I'm not lying. The game was shit. It was worse than most other free-to-play games on mobile. Halo Infinite was a joke. Is a joke, sorry.
Did you decide to check out another tentpole Xbox series like, wait, where are all the big games for Xbox?
What do you mean where are all the big games from Xbox? They put out 28 games this generation, and they're...
Yeah, and they all sucked. Let's see. Okay, so here it is. Well, fuck me, man. Hold on, can I zoom in? I can't zoom in, thank God. So yeah. So you got Gears Tactics. Are you fucking kidding me? Really, dude? Flight Simulator, that's not a game. Psychonauts 2, that game was on every platform. So, but I guess that's not the argument. Okay, well, Psychonauts 2 was not made by Microsoft. That's a better argument. And then Forza, whatever. I don't care about Forza. Halo Infinite is Halo Infinite disappointment, like I already said, and it sucked. It sucked really badly. The horrible free-to-play online, even though it was free-to-play, was worse than most other online games they had to pay for. Like, and again, like I said, even there are better mobile free-to-play games. You know? Get over yourself. What the fuck is that? Dusk Tales or something? Dusk Falls. Oh. The fuck is that shit? I never even heard of it. Probably shit. Grounded. Shit. And then Minecraft Legends. Shit. Like, people abandoned that game quickly. I was there. Quake. Isn't that a fucking remaster? That's not a real game. Eat shit. And then Modern Warfare. Shit. Let's see. And was on every other platform. Again, like, the hell? And then Age of Mythology, shit. It sounds like shit, I don't know. Don't care. And then Aura, what the hell is that? I never heard of that. The fuck? Okay. And then Indiana Jones, shit. You know? It's meant to be a simulator thing, whatever. Like, people, we have hardware now that could do both simulation type shit with amazing gameplay and still run like a dream. We have the hardware for it. I don't care if you say stupid shit like, oh, well, you know, it's a simulator. It's a shitty simulator. Then it's not a game. It's a crappy simulator. In the combat in this shitty, you know, Indiana Jones, the modern one, sucked. It looked like ass. The hell? It looks like a 1990s first-person PC game. When you got into combat. Like, it was so wonky. It was so weird. The hell? Simulator. Who the fuck was asking for Indiana Jones Simulator? Who the hell was asking for that? All I remember asking for is a proper third-person Indiana Jones, like the PS2 and Xbox one. That's all I remember asking. Really. You know, a thing that's actually a video game? Yeah, God forbid. And then whatever the hell... Oh, flight simulator? What the hell? Wait, there's 2 flight simulators? Well, okay, that one doesn't count then. And then Deathloop. That was actually on PlayStation. That was on PlayStation before it even came to Xbox, even though Xbox owned the people behind the Deathloop crap. I don't know, man. Wow, what a joke. Hilarious. And then let's see. Pentiment? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Really? Pentiment? You mean that crappy-ass storybook garbage that actually plays better on the PS5, by the way? With the 120 frames mode? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. And also, it's on the Switch, so if you do want to experience that slop, experience it on the Switch. What are you doing? Like, what the hell? And then Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi garbage. No, but really, though, in all honesty... Again, that game is also on PS5. But on top of that, the game failed so miserably that they shut down the studio. My guy, what are you doing? You're embarrassing yourself, man. Age of Empires 2? Wait, didn't that release on PC like a long time ago? Or am I thinking of another? No, I'm thinking of Civilization. My bad. Yeah, right. Either way, that's not for everybody. That's not a game for everybody. And then Ghostwire Tokyo, shit. Redfall. I did videos on this fucking game. I remember this piece of shit releasing. Didn't have offline mode. Only 30 frames per second on the fucking Xbox, bro. Like, what? Get the hell out of here with that stupid shit, bro. But gosh dang, I had so much fun playing it. Remember that, buddy? With this failure of a fucking game? Yeah, okay, yeah. Then Age of Empires... Wait... Age of Empires 4? What? So, the 2 is a shitty remaster. Huh. Okay. And then Quake 2 remaster. Starflop? Really? Starflop? Seriously, dude? And then another fucking Forza game. Oh, yeah. Yay, another realistic racer, guys. Yay. So that's fucking pretty much all they could do right. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 sucked. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Fucking Hellblade? I'm sorry. I'm trying to recover, guys. Hellblade? 2? Are you kidding me? Avowed is a piece of shit. And South of Mid failed miserably. Okay? Alright. And then let's look at the 2025 upcoming games, shall we? So we have Doom the Dark Ages coming to literally every fucking platform. Possibly even the Switch 2. So, why are you making it like an Xbox thing? It does not matter. And, before you guys, like, try to say, well, okay, well, he's saying the games that Xbox made. Why does that matter of a video that's saying how valueless the Xbox is? Now, I'm not saying that it needs to have, like, exclusive to be valuable, but the Xbox doesn't have anything else, right? The only cool feature that the Xbox legitimately has is the quick resume. That's a cool feature. That's a good feature. I wish you made the console more convenient. Like, really. Right? I wish you made your games run as good as that feature, essentially. Crazy, I know. And then Towerborn? Isn't that a fucking stupid tower defense game? Really? And then Fable... Oh, the most, like, controversial, ugly, fucking, quote-unquote, fantasy game? Yeah, that piece of shit. Ninja Gaiden 4 coming to every platform. Doesn't even matter. And then Outer Worlds 2. I seen gameplay of that, and it looks like shit. It looks like utter shit. Honestly. Like, it straight up looks like a Nintendo Switch game, bro. That's crazy to me, dude. That's crazy. So it's like, these are the games that you're hyping up, and these are the games that you hyped up? Are you serious, bro? Oh, lordy. Yeah. Like, this is what this Xbox fanboy is talking about, guys. This is the value of Xbox. What are you talking about? They didn't make games. They didn't make games that stood out on Xbox, bro. And not to mention that these games are everywhere else, making the Xbox kind of useless. I mean, shit. Even if you're talking about, oh, I want to play the game. Like, I just want to play it. Well, you could play it better on the PS5 even, let alone the PC. But if you're talking about consoles, you could play it better on the PS5. Like, I'm sorry, but that's true. Now, I'm not going to say it's a significant leap, you know, but you could still play better on the PS5. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. And the video is all about what makes the Xbox better to play than the PS5. Nothing. Honestly, they're both the same platforms, except the PS5 has more games, essentially. That's really how it is. And I hate to say it, because I hate the PS5 too. I hate both of them. They're both, like, the worst respective consoles to the industry. Like, they really are. The Series X and S are the worst Xboxes, and the PS5 is the worst PlayStation. For sure. So, yeah, I don't know. So, that's sad. This is such a sad, pathetic list that, by the way, is on everything else. Like I said, it's on every other platform that you would rather play than it being on the Xbox. Continuing.
About to compare it to PlayStation, that's put out 33. 10 of those, a third of those games on PlayStation, are remasters of games you already played on the PS4.
Boy, that's the same shit with your crap. Especially if you're talking about the Oblivion remaster. Because that's what it is. It's a fucking remaster, not a remake. Jesus Christ, man. The horse shit that they spew nowadays. Oh, the Oblivion remaster or remake. It's not a remake. It's a fucking remaster. But anyways, my guy, those remasters are still better than your crappy ass fucking games right here. All of these Xbox games are complete and utter fucking failures in one way or another. So,
You've got Forza Horizon 5, 2 Call of Duties that have come out under Xbox.
and they both sucked. And not to mention that, wow, your biggest claim to fame here with the Xbox game is a fucking realistic simulator racer? Really? That's sad.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Starfield, Avowed just came out, and they know that Doom the Dark
And it sucked. And it sucked. Avowed was fucking horrible. Next.
Ages is right around the corner, as well as Outer Worlds 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and so much more from Xbox first party.
What about that huge RPG that everyone's talking about? You could have sworn the developer announced it was coming to Xbox. You check and it's available on PlayStation. What? Why isn't it on Xbox? In fact, why isn't anything popular available on Xbox?
Okay, they're about to bring up the Baldur's Gate 3 thing from 2023, where the game was delayed 3 months on the Xbox platform because the Xbox Series S.
Yeah, so the Xbox Series S caused a big popular game like Baldur's Gate 3 to not come to it. I don't really care for Baldur's Gate 3. I don't care for it. I don't like it. I don't give a shit about the art style either. It's I don't know. It looks boring to me, personally. But the game was still a huge deal. That needs to be acknowledged here, right? And the game didn't come to Xbox for the longest time. Why? Because the value of the Series S, right, Xbox fanboys? The value of the Series S. You gotta be fucking kidding me. And I think you could even play Baldur's Gate 3 just fine on the Steam Deck, but it took them months to get it right on the Xbox Series S, and then eventually X. Like, bro, what?
Couldn't run split screen.
And that's the first big reason why Xbox is failing. Game developers just don't want to release their titles for the console anymore. Why? Well, the Xbox Series S is part of the problem.
They say that there are a ton of games.
Yep, it is. The Series S is a fucking huge issue, because the dumbass, I don't know, like the retard who is in charge of making the Series S really thought that was a great idea to make it have less gigabytes of RAM, and overall just shitty, like a shittier GPU, shittier CPU and everything. You should have just made it a Series X digital, bro. Like, if I knew that it was going to have this many issues, dude, like if it was just a Series X that couldn't do 4K, and everything else was the same, that would have been fine. That's a great idea, actually. It would have been fine. But no. What they did instead was, oh, well, we're going to give it less gigabytes of RAM. We're going to give it a shittier CPU, I think, right? And then a shittier GPU. And then shittier everything, essentially. And they did that in the worst generation, by the way. That's what's the worst part about it. They did it in the worst generation. This is the generation of unoptimized, buggy pieces of shit Well, even more so than the PS4 and Xbox One days. But this is the worst generation because, again, you have shitty developers that are unable to optimize, unable to compress files. Like, this is a joke of a generation. And they really had the bright idea to make a weaker system? You know, it's completely stupid.
Don't come to PlayStation because of the Series S, which is an outright lie. In fact, the only games that haven't come to the Xbox platform because of
the only thing that's an outright lie, dude, is you're simping for this dog shit piece of hardware. Xbox sucks, bro. Get used to it. Get over it. Like, it sucks. It's horrible. Oh wait, but he's trying to appeal to his dumb fan base that is still hoping and coping for the fucking garbage piece of hardware. We should just call you Cope Eastwood at this point, bro. Like, really, you really are playing with low-hanging fruit. I don't know, man. I'm just... My mind hurts.
Performance or a parity clause was Baldur's Gate 3 with a 3-month delay, and Black Myth Wukong, a game that has actually got an express exclusivity agreement with PlayStation because they paid to develop the game and get...
You know, I don't know about that. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if PlayStation did this, honestly. It really wouldn't. But, dude, no. I mean, I'm not going to act like the game was really well optimized, but that's the problem. You see what I mean? Black Myth Wukong is a great example of a shitty game that was not well optimized at all. You know? So, dude, they got the game running fine, I guess, on the Steam Deck, right? And you know why they didn't get it running on the Series S? Because the Series S has different, like, not architecture, but it has a different way of making games run well on it, right? Especially because I'm not even saying that the Steam Deck is more powerful than the Series S. That's ridiculous, right? But at the end of the day, the Series S does have a shittier amount of gigabytes of RAM. You have to optimize the game around that. But the Steam Deck has 16, buddy. It has 16. Your crappy-ass Xbox only has 12. Yeah, 12 in total. God knows how much of that is usable. So, it's ridiculous, man.
It on console instead of waiting for the console port since it was only supposed to be on the PC. Of course, there are developers or smaller developers that will skip the Xbox platform because the Xbox Series S and X console base is so low. This is Xbox's big major problem that they have not addressed. They've done nothing.
Whoa, hold on. Stop right here. He's acknowledging something the Xbox did wrong? Holy shit.
But continue to hold back console sales in the European market and overseas. But to say all of these big games or big RPGs are not on Xbox is an outright lie when almost every single major tentpole franchise...
He mentioned only that one so far. And then, what is it? There are still a bunch of big games that didn't come to the Xbox because of the Series S. Buddy. Baldur's Gate 3 almost didn't come to the Series X because of the Series S. Like, what are you talking about, bro? God, these clowns.
RPG and big AAA game comes to Xbox, PC, and PlayStation at the same time.
Scrolling through the list of games, increasingly regretting the $300 you just spent on the Xbox Series S. Not only does the console not have a lot of games that you wanted, the games it does have all seem to be available on PlayStation as well. Xbox is talking about how it's going to release Indiana...
Yep, exactly. And then, yeah, the Indiana Jones game is coming to PlayStation. Look, man, all I'm trying to say is that, like, I'm not saying exclusives make a console worth it, because I agree that it doesn't. You know, I think value should come from the console and its amazing features. I really do believe that. I do. You know? But how is that the case when the Xbox doesn't have anything over PlayStation, even in terms of that? And they have less games? Come on, bro. And they have no exclusives? Like, yo, who the fuck is gonna buy an Xbox next generation, man? Like, what is their plan? What is their fucking plan? Seriously, man. And I'm not even saying, oh, make games exclusives or whatever. I'm not even saying that, bro. All I'm saying is that put more value into your hardware. Whether that's lowering the price, you know, or making online free. Yeah, sure, that's never going to fucking happen. But I'm just saying, there are ways of making it more valuable. There are. And Microsoft is not doing it.
Jones in the Great Circle in December of 2024. But then you learn the game will also be released to PlayStation in spring of 2025. Doom: The Dark Ages is scheduled to be released on PlayStation and Xbox on the same day, May 15th, 2025. What is Xbox doing?
And they've already owned the console. If you're sitting there wondering about your purchase, that you should have bought a PS5 at this point, you already bought your console. These games are not being taken away from you.
He's not saying that, Colt. He's not saying that. He's saying that those games are coming to PlayStation. What's the point of getting an Xbox? And he's right. He's absolutely right. Again, it's not because of the exclusivity, but it's like the Xbox doesn't offer anything better than the PlayStation, honestly, even in terms of hardware. Not really. You know, other than the quick resume, which is a good feature, what else does the Xbox have? Nothing. You know, does it have better online like the 360 did over the PS3? No. No, not really. You know, the Xbox is a joke. I'm sorry, guys. And like, is the Series X cheaper than the PS5? Nope. They also did their hardware increases and you thought, oh well, you know, they just releases like newer models of the Series X. Maybe those will be better. Nope. Those are just as much of a ripoff as ever before. Like, straight up, guys. Like, no, those are complete ripoffs as well. Right? I mean, fucking hell. Get over it, fanboys. The fucking Series X is not even the most powerful hardware anymore. Like, even on, I mean, it never really was, per se, right? I mean, I'm not even including PC. But it's like, there are some games that would run better on the PS5. There are some games that would run better on the Series X. It was always, like, kind of a, you know, kind of the same thing. Like, the Series X and PS5, I don't know, man. They didn't really show anything that is like, hey, look how amazing this console is. And that's why the PS4, like, that's why people are still making games for the PS4 and Xbox One. That's why people are still buying games on the PS4 and Xbox One. Like, I don't know, it's just ridiculous. It really is. Like, if I'm not lying to you guys. Both these consoles suck. They're horrible. And Nintendo's too. You know, all consoles suck. They're terrible. Right? But if I'm being honest, like, none of these consoles, especially the Series X and PS5, none of them have any value from each other. They really don't. I'm sorry.
In fact, if you've got past 2023, 3 years in the generation, the games are flowing in from Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard, and Xbox's game studios. And what is Xbox doing? Well, they're trying to make more money because over the past 10 years, they've had almost no...
Yo, I'm sorry, but look at this dumbass fucking Indiana Jones game. Why the hell do you have some stuff in third person, and then you go back to first person? Like, dog. Like, trust me, I love games where it gives you the option to switch between third and first person, but it forces you in these perspectives. It does. And it's fucking stupid. Like, why don't you just make it a third-person game? I don't understand.
Games. The games they did have were not very exciting. Fans weren't looking for Super Lucky's Tale or Recore. Fans were looking for big games like Fable and saying, where's Fable? Where's State of Decay 3? Fable just got announced to come out in 2026.
Yeah, back in 2020, jackass. Like, this fucking game was supposed to come out a long fucking time ago. Yet they keep delaying it, much like every other stupid Xbox game. I mean, yeah, people have a right to be like, yo, what the fuck? Where's the games, bro? Where's the Xbox games? Where the fuck are they? They have every right to be like that. This is not the only game. Even for the Series X. Even for the fucking Series X. This is not the only game that did this, bro. It's not. Oh my god. There's also Hellblade 2 that took 5 fucking million years to come out. Right? Let's see. Like, there's just a whole list of games that didn't come out for the Xbox One still. You know, still. Isn't Evertale supposed to be one of them, man? I don't fucking know. I lost track of these games, really, that they announced in the Xbox One, or, I'm sorry, in the beginning of the Series X, man. I lost count. I did. Like, I really don't know.
State of Decay 3 is probably going to get its big reveal for gameplay this year. It'll probably come out in 2026 as well. But how could you fit Fable and State of Decay in right now in this year when Xbox already has at least 10 games coming out?
Well, it seems even Xbox.
Yeah, coming out for the past fucking 5 years, bro. You've been saying that shit. You're coming out. Wait till next year. Wait till next year. That's all you can fucking do, right? Just simp for them until they... And even then, man, can we just be honest? None of these games look like winners. Like, none of them do, bro. None of them look like the Fable Legends, right? None of them look like Scalebound. None of them look like any of those other games that unfortunately didn't come out. Rather unfortunate, or really. The games actually seemed amazing. Especially Scalebound. Bro. I want Scalebound to come out. You know? sad.
doesn't really know. The company has almost no exclusive titles anymore, further driving down their console sales.
Here it is, the old plastic wars. What PlayStation and Xbox leadership have told you, that consoles are niche, and Xbox has moved beyond the console. In fact,
They are, I mean, they are becoming more niche, yeah. You know, especially with Sony moving the games to PC, Xbox moving their games to PC, and then eventually Nintendo will follow the same suit. They will follow the same route, you know? Especially after the Switch 2 numbers will take a woo, pew, nosedive. Oh, man. But yeah. Especially after the Switch 2 takes a nosedive in its sales later down the line. Oh, boy. I mean, I'm not saying that Nintendo will release their games on PC, and if they do, they're going to definitely start off with mobile games. But I do feel like Nintendo, at least with the Switch 3 or whatever, will do it. They will. Absolutely.
did that way back in 2016. And here the infographic show is showing their bias and how far behind they are and misinformed about where the games industry is heading, moving into cloud gaming, PC gaming, handhelds, and console, and a combination of any of those things. And for Xbox to only rely on the console, being behind Nintendo and PlayStation in plastic sales isn't going to work for them any further. And to continue to say that they're failing.
So, what is their plan then, Colt? What is their plan? This is what these Xbox fanboys fail to fucking mention. It's like, well, console sales isn't doing much for them. Gee, I wonder why, when you fucking are also raising the prices of your hardware like PlayStation did, also making making people pay for online like Sony is, and like fucking Nintendo. Here's a crazy idea. How about you fucking like try to get people in by putting more value into your hardware and software? Wow, crazy. I know. Crazy. Dude. This shit is ridiculous. And these fanboys keep fucking defending this. Colt, the reason why their shitty consoles are not selling well is because they're not fucking worth it. Their games are horrible. The pricing of the Xbox is horrible. You know, the services of the Xbox is horrible. Like, even for Game Pass, why the fuck would you have Xbox Game Pass, bro? Realistically, if you had the option of PC Game Pass, why would you have Xbox Game Pass? Why? You have to pay $8 more fucking dollars for essentially the same service. So even if you do like Game Pass, dude, the Xbox is not even the best platform. It's not even the best platform to have it on. The PC is.
Just because the console sales are lower than PlayStation and Nintendo is not looking at the overall big picture at all. In fact, Xbox is number 2 in.
So what is their big picture? Game Pass? Oh, you mean that fucking failure that only has like 34 million people, and I think like some of that is just people from Xbox Live who are still paying for Xbox Live or whatever the hell it's called now. That's in these guys. Oh my god. And all they are able to do is just pull numbers out their ass, bro. Like, really. I mean, that's all they fucking do. They're like, look at the big picture, bro. Look at the big picture. What big picture? Dude. Realistically, if you want to look at the big picture there, Colt, who's going to allow Game Pass on their piece of hardware? Huh? Steam is not going to allow it. Or on their services, sorry. Steam is not going to allow it. Nintendo's not going to allow it. Sony's not going to allow it. Who the fuck is going to allow Game Pass on their thing? Who? The best thing that Microsoft could do, really, with Game Pass on other platforms is, like, have a first-party version of it. That's it. Like, you know, you pay a certain fee every month, and you could have, like, only the Microsoft first-party titles on the Switch 2 or PS5, whatever. So, bro, I don't know what the hell these guys are even talking about. But that's the best case scenario. And even then, that's not smart because, again, people don't really care for Microsoft first-party titles. No one fucking cares for them, dude. No one cares for them. So
revenue across Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, with Nintendo being in last place but still making far more profit than all three. And you just can't look at console sales by themselves.
The Xbox 360, one of the company's most popular consoles by far, sold.
Well, I mean, Nintendo is kind of unfortunately, Nintendo is kind of winning the hardware space too. So, I mean, almost like that has something to do with their hardware. Actually, I don't know.
14.9 million units worldwide.
And then they're going to take a long history lesson of the Xbox 360 and Xbox One, dive into the DRM, the always online, and the Connect bundling and everything that's already been rehashed. This is about where Xbox is now and why they think Xbox.
Yeah, and where Xbox is now is fucking in the gutter, bro. It's even worse than, if you guys ask me, it's even worse than in the beginning of the Xbox One. At least with the Xbox One, dude, Microsoft backtracked on a lot of the dumb shit that they're going to do, and they launched with actually pretty decent titles, bro. Dead Rising 3, Sunset Overdrive, Rise Son of Rome. I mean, these are all pretty fucking decent games, bro. They really are. So, being able to see Microsoft actually release those games in the beginning of the Xbox One, either launch window or launch in general, was awesome, actually. And now we look at the Series X. What the fuck did the Series X launch with? Garbage. That's what it launched with. I mean, even if I think Halo Infinite could be considered a launch title, right? I think so. I don't know. But even if it was a launch window, doesn't matter. That fucking thing sucked. That game sucked ass, bro. Like I said, it barely launched with any content. You didn't even get to choose what mode that you could play. Overall, it's just pretty mediocre, man. Everything about the Series X so far, in general, really, is shitty and mediocre and not well executed at all. So where are they now, Colt? Well, they're in the gold mines? Dude.
Xbox is failing.
It's a mystery why Xbox isn't securing more exclusive rights to major games, especially since Microsoft has owned ZeniMax Media, the parent company of...
See, now, this is where I also disagree. I'm sorry for pausing, but this is where I disagree, too, by the way. No, I don't think that they should secure it on every fucking console, bro. That's not the problem, too. People are missing the fucking point. See, this is where I will disagree with the haters of Xbox as well, right? Oh, I guess sensible people. But this is where some of them are fucking stupid. Exclusives don't matter. They don't. Stop fucking pretending that they do. The value of the hardware was never because of the exclusives. Never. Look back in history, bro. Why did the Game Boy did better than the Sega Game Gear, right? The Game Gear had better fucking playing games. Oh my god. It had better games than the Game Boy. Fucking hell. It didn't have the same, variety, I will admit that, but it still had better playing games. It had fucking games that were in the same caliber as home consoles at the time. It was amazing. Problem? The Game Gear was too expensive, and it fucking demolished batteries like no one's business, bro. No one's business. So you know what the issue is? The portable was not feasible. It really wasn't. The Game Boy was awesome because it only took 2 batteries. It was cheaper, and it had a larger selection of games. But the reason why it had a larger selection of games is because of the, I will admit, the easier hardware. You see, again, the Game Boy was cheaper, so more people were able to buy it. And then it took less batteries, so people were able to play it longer. And since it did have that anemic hardware that was cheaper and did consume less batteries, guess what? It was easier to make games on it. Wow, crazy. So why did the Game Boy sell well? Because of the price and the practicality of it. Straight up, that's really mostly it. The games came after that because of the success of the console. It's that simple, bro. Jesus. Holy hell. And you have to understand, too, the Game Boy was a brand new, that was a brand new way of, experiencing a Nintendo console. Right? It was crazy. It was crazy at the time. Really. So, yeah, and then, let's see. Let's also do another one, right? Let's do the DS. Let's do the DS. The DS, way weaker than the PSP. Right? But, and too, the PSP had PS2 caliber games. Even though that the PSP didn't fail, thank God, the PSP did have a way shorter selection. Why? Because the DS had more sales. Why? Because it was cheaper and had let's see, and it also even had that touchscreen technology that could have made for really casual games that you didn't really have to spend a lot of like money making like these bigger caliber games like you would have to on, say, the PSP, right? For the most part, of course the PSP did. But what I'm trying to say is that the DS had more value than something like the PSP, which is arguable, I know, overall, but look at the numbers. They don't lie, right? It was just that simple, guys. The value of the hardware dictates its success, not games. Games never did. Never. They came after its success, of course. And games have a lot to do with their long-term success. I'm not going to deny that. You know? But here's the problem with Xbox. With this whole exclusivity, non-exclusivity shit. That doesn't matter. What matters is the caliber of their games, and they fucking suck. Look at Indiana Jones. This is a low-grade, low-quality, shitty fucking Indiana Jones simulator. Did we fucking ask for a simulator? I remember us asking for a third-person action game. That's what I remember asking for. Out of Indiana Jones. Not this garbage-ass fucking simulator. Who the hell asked for an Indiana Jones simulator, bro? Who? Who the fuck asked for that? I didn't. Like, seriously, bro. And look at Redfall. Are you telling me that if that game stayed on Xbox, that would have drove some people to it? No. No. My God. It would just make Xbox users more ashamed. Like, at least PC dudes were able to suffer with them. I mean, let's be honest here, right? No, Redfall was a piece of shit. Whether it was on the Xbox only or not. The game sucked. Right? And then let's see. Well, what's another game? Halo Shitfinite as well. Halo Shitfinite sucked. Like, Halo Infinite just sucked. Whether it was only on the Xbox Series X or not, the game sucked. It was bad. Sorry. My God. So, exclusivity is not the issue, you dumb fucks. It's the caliber, it's the quality of the games. And Microsoft's quality for games went fucking downhill. And it has been for a while now. You know? That's the problem. The exclusivity has nothing to fucking do with it. Really.
Bethesda, makers of Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and Doom, since 2021. Considering they spent $8.1 billion on ZeniMax, you might think Microsoft would get them to make games exclusive for the Xbox.
Phil Spencer promised back in 2021 that the Bethesda games would be exclusive to where Game Pass exists, and now he's completely backed out of that and made those games fully multi-plat.
PlayStation, for example.
Yeah, that's not the problem. Again, that's not the issue even. So I disagree with this whole point of, well, why don't they make exclusive games for the Xbox? That's not the solution at all. Like, honestly, I just explained why.
Has huge games like God of War, The Last of Us, and Spider-Man 2 that it keeps exclusive to their consoles. Besides PCs, anyone who wants to play some of the best games of the last 10 years has to get a PlayStation. But
Not really. PC also has them too now. Hell, the PS4 had them. So, that's not exactly true, you know? And, again, yeah, and like recently, PlayStation have been putting their games over and over again, by the way, on PC and PS5 with shitty-ass remasters and stuff like that, so that's not even true, you know?
Xbox can't get exclusive rights to other major franchises that would drive gamers back to their console either.
What do you mean Xbox isn't willing to make a bunch of games to bring people to their platform? They have 30 studios, they have ZeniMax, Bethesda, Activision.
Shut up, fanboy. No one fucking cares about what numbers Xbox has. What are they doing with the numbers, dumbass? Nothing. They're not making games with it, bro. They're barely making games with it. And even when they do make games for it, they fucking suck. They have been doing that for a while now. So, shut up with your fucking numbers, with your studios. I don't give a fuck, bro. Xbox sucks. And they're not doing anything good with them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When Xbox bought Activision, I'm like, oh, cool. You know what? We might see something good out of that. You know, like, and like, not to mention that they're even talking about, releasing Call of Duty on the Switch as well. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm down for it. Let's go. And what happened? Oh, they made like the fucking worst Call of Duties under that Phil Spencer effect, bro. Like, man, I don't know. This is bad.
And Blizzard, and they're working on some 1 or 2 projects each and every studio. Look at this graphic that Clobro put together that shows the Xbox.
Whoa, graphics, guys! whoa, look at this. Look at all those look at all those titles. Is he serious, bro? You are such a disingenuous fuck, man. Because look at these games. I mean, Ori and the Blind Forest, yeah. That was on the Xbox One, though, so. That's not Series X, but whatever. Even if it was, doesn't matter. All these games are not Xbox, like, exclusives or anything. Like, what is your point? And like, not to mention that his point was that the Xbox has no value. And he's right. You could put all the stupid games in this graphic all you want, buddy. The fact of the matter is that he's right. All these games are available on other platforms and other consoles. So you're not helping with that. You're not helping at all. You can put great games all over here all you fucking want. First off, most of these suck, and they're on other platforms. So, not really a winning factor here.
Roadmap. Xbox shows their commitment to bring out major games like Fallout, Doom, Elder Scrolls, Perfect Dark, Gears, and a ton of brand new IPs. Most of Xbox's games are AAA and some AA games. Xbox is
not AAA quality. That's for fucking sure.
Really gone so much bigger, even 10 times increasing the amount of games that are available to their fans on console, PC, and Game Pass.
Unfortunately, Microsoft doesn't seem serious about devoting time or resources to build out studios that would create a first-party lineup.
Yep, that's true. That's very, very true. They really don't.
What a lie!
What a lie! How? How's he lying? How is he fucking lying, bro? He's absolutely correct, actually, but okay.
Is the more Xbox loses customers, the less inclined other game developers are to develop their games for the console. So maybe we should examine why Xbox is pursuing such a bad strategy to begin with.
Okay, this is true. Yes, if Xbox doesn't have enough console users, then some developers may continue to skip the Xbox console.
Cole, it has been happening. It has been happening. So why are you fucking still simping for that dog shit piece of hardware? Why? It has been happening for the Series X, dumbass. The fucking Xbox One has been getting more third-party games than the Series X has. Like, that's an objective fact. Fucking crazy, man.
This is very few and far between, but this could be a problem in the future.
Hell, the fucking Xbox didn't even get the Final Fantasy collection. A fucking collection filled with old-ass games. Like, it didn't even get, like, the Capcom Street Fighter shit. This is getting ridiculous, bro.
Maybe only half as many people will buy an Xbox console, but this part is pure speculation based off of rumors. Xbox
No, it's based off of fact. Less people will buy the next Xbox. That is objective fact. Yes. That is absolutely true.
This next generation console probably won't just be a console, it will be a PC.
Who even runs Xbox anymore? You know Microsoft owns the company, but you can't quite remember who's in charge of Xbox specifically.
Really? You don't know who runs Xbox? You don't know that?
What a fucking dork. Really? You don't know who runs it? No, motherfucker. No one knows Phil Spencer like that. Like, he's not a fucking celebrity. He's a failure. Yeah, I mean, he's like synonymous with us dudes who like fucking who like roam YouTube like it's their life. Sure. But motherfucker, no. All I know him for is the dude that killed Xbox. That's all I know him for. Like, even if you do know him, it's not for anything positive. So why would he know?
Name Phil Spencer. You don't know the guy who's continually lambasted by everybody in the games media.
Rightfully so.
Gaming fans, the fall guy for everything, the guy who said he would do things, the guy who changed what he...
He's not the fall guy. He is in charge of Xbox. He's not the fall guy. He caused the fucking damage. Even after all the resources he was given, by the way. It's not like they didn't give him a chance, bro. No, they did. He sucks. He just fucking sucks. But you know what? It's not only Phil Spencer's fault. I will say this. I'll throw you a bone there, Colt. I guess because you like sucking his dick so much. I'll throw you a bone. It's not only Phil Spencer as to why Xbox is terrible, bro. It's really not. It's Microsoft's shitty work culture in general, which is why I'm happy that they're failing miserably in this industry. I love gaming. I do. I really do. And I want to see it get better. And seeing Xbox fail countless times, even with something shitty like Game Pass, right? Even though people have been saying, oh, it's value. It's not. Unless you fucking play games at an unhealthy fucking rate. It's really not. It's not. But I will say this. It's Microsoft's shitty work culture in general. It's not only Phil Spencer's fault. Because let's say that they fire Phil Spencer. Who do you think they're going to get to replace him? Probably someone even worse than Phil Spencer, believe it or not. I'm not even fucking lying. I'm really not, dude. It's crazy.
doing, the guy who ran Xbox for 10 years, the one who's always on stage, the one who's in every single interview. They know.
I mean, that's what you get too. The reason why their work culture, I should say this too, I really should. The reason why their work culture is so shit is because Microsoft has to be the biggest perpetrator to this DEI bullshit ever. They will fucking like hire people and promote people based off their fucking skin and gender more than their skill. So why, of course, Xbox's work culture is shit, and that's why. Or not Xbox, sorry. Microsoft in general, their work culture is shit, and that's why their company sucks. Absolutely.
Phil Spencer is.
Xbox's customer base, it is clear. Microsoft isn't focusing on Xbox. Even when they are, they don't seem to care about what Xbox gamers want. As stated on gaming site Level Up, everything indicates that Xbox as a
I mean, this is kind of true. And not only Xbox dudes, but they don't even care about what communities or like, I'm sorry, like ecosystems that they're trying to get into. They don't even know, they don't even care what they want. You know? Why the fuck are you trying to put your games on Nintendo and PlayStation without trying to appeal to them? Like, you're fucking weird. They're not making games around those ecosystems. Like, yo, the Nintendo dudes don't give a shit about your crappy ass. Like, oh, let's put we're gonna put Hi-Fi Rush on there or whatever like slop that they made in the past. No one fucking cares, bro. No one cares. Throw them a bone, like with, oh, we're making a brand new Banjo-Kazooie game. We're going to make a Conker's Bad Fur Day game. Like, throw them a fucking bone like that, bro. Oh, we're going to let Rare like help Nintendo with the next 3D Donkey Kong game. Something like that. Like, throw the Nintendo dudes a bone like that. I don't understand. If you're trying to get into their ecosystem, their fan base, their goodwill, fucking do that, dumbass. Don't just, oh, we're going to shit out some game that fucking failed miserably on our platform, but, you know, you guys could have the leftovers, essentially. Who the fuck is that going to appeal to? Nobody. Right? And then let's look at their horrible attempt at trying to get into the mobile ecosystem. Motherfucker, us mobile players don't give a shit about your garbage, fucking, what is it? I don't know. Your terrible fucking xCloud. That's what it's called. Your terrible xCloud. No one cares, bro. No one cares. Are you kidding me? You really think that mobile dudes, you know, us who have experienced quality, free-to-play quality games, you know, we're really gonna, like, you really fucking think that we're going to, like, get into your dumbass ecosystem with xCloud? Are you serious? You mean us paying $15 a month just to stream Xbox games? No, dumbass. That's not how the mobile market works. You want to throw us a bone? How about you fucking release a free-to-play online Gears of War game or something like that in the same quality as what was that game that was like a Gears of War game back in the fucking day, made by Madfinger? Dude, Shadowgun. There you go. Dude, this online game that was like fucking peak mobile gaming at the time. Like fucking Shadowgun Dead Zone. Dude, it was like a Gears of War game, but a free-to-play mobile one. It was a free-to-play, online-only Gears of War clone, and it was fucking awesome. It was awesome, bro. Shadowgun Dead Zone was one of the best fucking games, and unfortunately, I can't play it anymore. It was such a good game, though. Such a good game. It was like literally pretty much Gears of War, but on mobile and online. And it was free. Like shit, you know? My God. No, I'm not talking about the original Shadowgun game. No, not that. Not the single player one. You know, I'm talking about the online one, the Dead Zone game. That one was fucking awesome. Make a Gears of War game like that for us mobile dudes. The hell? Make a free-to-play online Halo game on the fucking mobile. Shit. We'll make another one, because don't just put Halo Infinite. I know they have that garbage, but it's not for mobile. 1 and 2. Yeah, no one is going to associate with that anymore. So you might want to make another Halo game. Another free-to-play online Halo game. So yeah. Man. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that Microsoft is not appealing to each ecosystem properly. They're not. They're just shitting their other garbage games that no one wanted onto platforms that people actually like, unlike theirs, you know. So Xbox sucks, Microsoft sucks, and they can't even appeal to every community, or, I'm sorry, ecosystem that they're trying to go for properly. They really can't.
Has been relegated from the main narrative of Microsoft's top executives.
They got this one right. Absolutely, Microsoft and Xbox don't know what Xbox gamers want, and especially over the past 4 or 5 years, they've continued to not give priority to the console or even support it properly with the features it was supposed to have. And now moving into next generation, they've really shown that Microsoft is about the services and the games and the revenue there, and they
Oh my god. Is this kind of weird seeing Colt, like, stop being brainwashed for a second and actually criticize Microsoft? It's actually crazy. It's
not given that special treatment that the other platforms do to their console users.
Major developers like Capcom stopped releasing their titles to Xbox, including their classic fighting collection games.
Oh yeah, I just talked about this. Yep, that's true. They did in fact do that. Yes. So yeah, they didn't even fucking release a fucking old collection, bro, on the Xbox because of some sort of thing. I don't know. It's like some people did say that since Sony owns like the whole Evo shit, like they're trying to have like goodwill with Sony, right? So they made the collection exclusive to the PlayStation, but I don't know if that's a game that Sony would do that with. You know what I mean? I don't know about that. But I can understand why people have that sentiment. See, there's cope. All right, there's a coping lies that we could say that the Xbox are trying to spew out. But to be fair, Sony has been doing that this generation, so I don't know if I can just call it cope at this point. You know, it's like I can understand why people have that sentiment towards Sony. Yeah, really. But I don't know if this is a collection of old games that they would do that with. I don't think so. Then again, they did keep the Kingdom Hearts collection exclusive, so I don't know. Shit, it's actually I don't know. Sounds pretty right. But either way, Capcom did say that it was because of something with the Series S or Xbox Series consoles in general that didn't support something. He'll explain it. I don't know.
For years because of technical issues.
For years, you haven't had the Capcom fighting games on Xbox? No, they were on the Xbox original, Xbox 360, and they're coming to Xbox One, and they'll be there via backward compatibility. Xbox had a problem with their MT framework engine, which is a porting process that Capcom wasn't doing.
It was the framework engine. That's right. Yeah. Framework engine. So that's what it was. And it's like, I still don't find that as a valid excuse, personally. I really don't. Because, like, motherfucker, these are old games. These are old fucking games. You could get them running on the Xbox, you lazy fucks. You can. Shut up. These are fucking old-ass games. You're telling me you can't get them running on another way on Xbox. Shut the fuck up. No. I will say that that's kind of bullshit, really. But still, I mean, Xbox could have made it easier to put their game on there. They could have. So, I blame them too.
The time, so Capcom's fighting in this one arcade retro game is being delayed some 8 months to come to Xbox Series S and X consoles. But no, Capcom hasn't been skipping Xbox for years.
As you sit in your living room, you decide to check.
They haven't? I mean, shit. I'm pretty sure there are other games that didn't come to Xbox from Capcom, right? Like, I don't know about that, Chief.
Out if Microsoft has any gotcha games. So you check to see which gotcha games the new Xbox has, and you come up with nothing. How's that possible? How did Microsoft fail to take advantage of one of the fastest growing and most lucrative gaming markets in the world today?
When was this video made? November 2024, Xbox finally got Genshin Impact. In fact,
it was made in 2023, jackass. So yeah, it's almost like you reacted to a fucking old-ass video for no reason. Because, what, it makes your love for Xbox seem more valid? I don't know. Yeah, you reacted to a fucking video in 2023. And even then, yeah, wow, they just got this dumbass game? This gay shit Impact? Really? You just got that fucking game. I mean, at least it got it, unlike Nintendo users. Yikes! But anyways, this is a shitty game anyways, actually. It really is bad. Yeah, it is just fucking free-to-play anime slop. It really is. But, not to mention that you finally got this game. You finally got this game, motherfucker. Like, oh my god. Like, he's bragging about Microsoft got this game a year after you made the video. Yeah, that's why he's saying that it doesn't even have something like Genshin Impact, gay shit in ass, back when they didn't have it. Crazy, I know.
whole suite of extra features when it finally got the port to Xbox. Then they go on to name a bunch of other games that are not coming to Xbox, and they already have announcements, or they're already released on the Xbox platform. All of this just paints Xbox as being left out of all of these games when there are thousands of games available on the Xbox, just as there are on PlayStation.
So, is there any
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, maybe from the Xbox One generation, but no. Overall, the Series X and S don't have that same selection, bro. Absolutely not. Even the store, like, the store just feels empty, really. I mean, all console stores do, but man, especially the Xbox, bro, it just feels so much more empty compared to PlayStation and Nintendo. It does. You know, all I see is just more so expansions than anything else, man. Really.
bright news in Xbox future? Well, one silver lining is the Game Pass feature, which has done incredibly well. As of February 2024, the service had
34 million subscribers. That's not exactly true.
4 million subscribers, proving that it is really popular among Xbox customers. While the Game Pass has proven to be a successful model for customers, it's been more of a mixed bag for developers. Some think that putting their games on the Game Pass model devalues their work, as they end up offering the final product for such a low price. Not to mention, it decreases the actual sales of their games.
Here comes the old Xbox Game Pass is unsustainable and is bad for game developers and doesn't support the developers. If you put your game on
Well, I mean, yeah. It kind of does, but that's not even a huge issue with Game Pass, in my opinion. Dude, Game Pass, I'm happy this shit is a failure. But, like, Game Pass is terrible for gaming. This is a future of gaming that you don't fucking want, right? Now, people are not saying that because they're not looking at the bigger picture, right, Colt? But if you're looking at the bigger picture, motherfucker, you would see that, okay, what if Game Pass was the only option of gaming? Well, shit. Then that means you'll have no access to the games that were kicked off of Game Pass, bro. You people do realize that there are games that get off of Game Pass almost every fucking day, right? And so if it does, you have no access to that fucking game. Good luck. You're never gonna play that game ever again. Sorry. And then that one reason that you possibly subscribe to Game Pass is now gone. So, well, I guess there's other games for you to enjoy. Wow, I'm so happy to fucking enjoy games that I've been playing for years. If not, you know, I'm able to buy for like penny on the dollars, bro, on other platforms like Steam. Whoa, man, so cool.
Pass, you did it because you agreed to the terms of Xbox giving you a lump sum in placement for sales that you would have on the Xbox console. In fact, right now, one of the biggest games, the possible Game of the Year contender, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, just saw 1 million sales in the first couple of days across PlayStation, PC, Xbox console, and it's in Game Pass, showing that your game.
Well, I mean, the 1 million sales thing is impressive, but how many of that was on Xbox? Like, can we just be honest? How many was out on Xbox instead of Game Pass? Right, bud? Right? Tell me that. How many of those sales were on Xbox? Tell me. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
Can make the lump sum up front for Sandfall Studios, as well as continue to make money on other consoles, even on Xbox console, for people that decide to buy or own the game instead of renting it through Game Pass.
So the news of lower game sales makes Game Pass far less appealing to them. As a result, many of the biggest games are kept off of Game Pass, which in turn lowers the service's overall value, making it less enticing for gamers who expect access to top-tier titles.
Exhibit A, and all of Xbox Game Studios titles, there are big games.
These are not quality fucking games, bro. First off, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is another remaster. Shut up. Oblivion is a fucking remaster. Shut up. And I know that they're putting a lot of their modern games, but, dude, their modern games are slop. Doom the Dark Ages looks amazing, but, sorry, this isn't a fucking Microsoft game. This isn't a game, I'm sorry, this isn't a game that Microsoft made, right? It's a game that would have been fucking made regardless of Xbox's inclusion or not. So, Outer Worlds 2 is slop. All their fucking games are slop, bro. These are not high-quality games. And Ninja Gaiden 4, that's not Xbox. They're publishing it, but it's not their game. They didn't make it. Like, damn. Holy shit, bro.
And as Xbox Game Pass gets bigger, they'll be able to bring in bigger games and spend more money to get bigger titles in the service earlier.
So it seems that at the end of the day, the future for Xbox is not all that bright, especially as its parent company barely seems
No, in fact, it's not going to have a future. Like, I really feel like after this generation, or the next generation, sorry, they will not have a fucking Xbox after that. And not to mention that, good fucking riddance, honestly. I'm sick and tired of consoles. Let them die. Let all the consoles die, please. PlayStation is next. and Nintendo will soon follow suit. I hope so, bro. Because let me tell you guys something. If you like Microsoft, if you like Sony, if you like Nintendo, you will love them even better when they're actually forced to provide value on something like the PC. You know? Because they're not going to get away with anything else. I'm sorry, but us PC dudes, we actually keep shit in check. Sorry, but we do. We don't buy your fucking $70 slop anywhere near as much as you do, right? And like we even like keep shit like Sony in check. Do you guys remember how they tried to make the fucking PSN a requirement? Yeah, we pretty much said fuck off. You're not doing that, or you're gonna suffer with terrible mediocre sales. Oh shit, okay. And then they stopped doing it. Look at that. Wow. You PlayStation dudes aren't even fucking able to get Sony to stop increasing the prices of fucking PSN. We keep them in check. Us PC dudes keep them in check. You fucking don't. So, trust me when I say Sony will provide a much better value. Nintendo will provide a much better value. Microsoft already does provide a better value on PC. You know? I think the biggest example to this is Game Pass on PC. $12 fucking a month, and it's all the shit that you would get with Game Pass Ultimate on Xbox, but cheaper. Overall fucking cheaper, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry, but PC is awesome. Your consoles are shit. So, I'm happy that the Xbox will fucking die by next generation. I really am. Fucking hell. It hasn't provided value for a long time, and neither has PlayStation, and neither has Nintendo. Fuck them all. Shit.
Care about it, or even understand
Let it burn. Let the console industry burn.
the market it's selling to. Is Xbox making the right moves by focusing on Game Pass and cloud gaming, or is it losing its place in the console market?
I mean, I kind of feel like I don't want them to, because that's not where I want gaming to go. You know? Like, I do have a bias here, but it's like, unfortunately, I mean, maybe for consoles, though, I don't see that being an only thing for PC. Sorry, but Steam is a good fucking indication of that. Anything that tried to compete with Steam, like fucking Google Stadia, or I don't think that it tried to directly compete with it, but it was a service that was offered on PC, and we said no thanks. You know, Stadia failed. Epic Game Store failed. You know, like all these other competitors to Steam, or even like alternatives to PC gaming, failed for a reason. They don't provide enough value, especially compared to Steam. And I'm sorry, but I don't see I don't see anything replacing Steam anytime soon. I really don't.
Should Microsoft push for more exclusives, or is it too late to catch up to PlayStation and Nintendo? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Yes, it's too late to compete with Nintendo and PlayStation on just the console. And Xbox has said, yeah, you don't need a console. You can play everywhere. The word Xbox...
So you just debunked everything you fucking told this man, bro, by saying that. They say that you don't need a console. Okay, he's been fucking arguing that for the longest time, Colt. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You literally wasted my time and everyone else's time with this shitty video. You're lucky I'm making a video on you. Oh my god. You just debunked what you said to him throughout this throughout these throughout your shitty video. I don't know, because it's been longer with my video, but yeah. You're garbage. Your channel's garbage. It is coping Xbox garbage. Man, this fool. He just fucking admitted, and he quoted Microsoft in admitting it, and saying that you don't need an Xbox. This infographical dude, whatever the fuck, was just he was just saying how much like less valuable the Xbox is compared to every other console. I'm done with this fool, bro. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.